oh, so everyone's died.
Exactly. You
That's
don't know
is
it.
Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
At
I'm
best
gonna
of experience.
destroy this argument.
Let's do it.
Go
Let's
for
hear
it.
it.
Switching gears a little bit, you know, we talked a lot about the commercial strategy of Disney, but we've got a film expert here.
Yeah.
Justin, you
expert.
are a videographer, and you have
Film nerd, I guess.
a bit of a film nerd, and
Yeah.
we have a
Consumer.
consumer, you know,
pleb.
the Marvel fan, the
A
pleb,
normie.
a normie.
Yeah.
Here, and obviously you enjoy the
Oh, I
whole
love
Marvel Cinematic
I love
Universe a lot.
I love superhero movies in
You love
general.
superhero movies, and you are maybe your take would correct me if I'm wrong, but a little bit more conservative. You treat Marvel movies or a lot of the production by Disney in general a lot like amusement park experience, right? What's your take? What's the gate here?
I don't like to gatekeep
Yeah.
because
But you will.
I'm,
If he said that means he will. He's about to.
Yeah, he's about to. Let's hear it, man. Gatekeep, man.
I'm not a filmmaker. I'm just a video guy, I guess. I never made a film, so I don't, even with people that actually made a lot of film, I don't think they can gatekeep. But I would say that, well, I see Marvel movies or movies like Fast and Furious, more of like popcorn stuff.
Yep.
You wouldn't really call it film. You wouldn't really put it in a textbook. Not to say that you have to make textbook-worthy movie to be called a movie, but then it's interesting,
Yeah.
right?
Entertaining.
There are certainly a lot of good, well-made film in the MCU
Okay.
or even in a Star Wars franchise. Come on, like New Hope was a textbook decent film. But
Yep.
we're talking about the first Star Wars movie,
Yep.
not the sequel.
It was textbook. It was literally textbook. Or it created a textbook.
Yeah, textbook in a
sci-fi
way that it was a
How come though? Was it the angle that they were shot, or the character
It's not just
dialogue?
It's not just the angle. Well, first of all, the whole structure is textbook.
Yep.
It's the hero's journey.
Yeah.
We're following Luke, leaving his hometown. Blah blah blah. A lot of, like, I don't want to go too deep into the film terms.
Yeah.
But structure wise, and the free act structure,
Okay.
how they wrote
The what?
the free act structure.
3-act structure. Okay.
So how they set up the story, the twists, and everything. It was pacing. It was perfect. Like, there's nothing you can pick apart from the original Star Wars. It's
Yep.
textbook perfect. But then I think even with MCU, Iron Man was pretty solid on its own.
Extremely solid.
Iron Man was a pretty well written, acting, the filming, everything is
Yep.
Yeah.
fine.
A lot
And
of
you'd say
character
the hero's
development.
journey as well. It's
The character
textbook.
development, because
Yeah.
Tony Stark was a bit of a douche at the start, and you
Yep.
know, he went to the dungeon and
Attacked.
became a hero, kind of like that.
But then, like, it's good thing that you mentioned hero's journey. I think let's not go to the territory of what makes a film and what's in a movie.
Yeah.
Even with just a movie, I think
I thought movie is just like American term for film, and films like the
Whoa,
more
yeah, yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
that's the
Yeah,
impression
it is,
I had.
it is,
but
it is. But
sorry,
I
I
think
segued a little.
I guess in my point of view, or a lot of like film snob point of view, would be film are the stuff that are
Artsy.
Right.
not artsy, are good
Good.
in
yeah,
general.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
And a
like
critic.
Godfather, stuff like
In
that.
a critic way,
Passy
that
Jones.
is
Yeah.
like something that agreed by most critic and general audience that is a well-made
Yep.
art piece,
Okay.
but not like a Winter Soldier. I want to call it a film. It's a movie. But then I think the major issue that a lot of people have with Marvel movies is that they broke the whole hero's journey stuff.
Oh.
Okay.
Because I thought it really is textbook. In
Very
most movies,
traditional.
very textbook movie journey.
Not
I mean,
most of
hero's
them.
journey.
Let me. Okay. What is a good example?
I mean, besides Infinity War, where they actually lost, every movie is pretty box standard. Hero introduce, villain introduce,
Conflict
some
introduced,
conflict. First
resolved
conflict.
at the end.
First conflict, hero's got to lose. Hero lose again. Gain a little bit more strength. Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. That was textbook. That was literally textbook.
that was not Disney. That was Sony.
Was that not?
That's Sony, bro.
Oh, but you know what I mean. You know
That's
what I
the
mean?
best Spider-Man movie there
I
who are
agree.
there.
I agree.
Okay,
I agree.
that is a different
Absolutely.
topic.
Fine, fine.
But then what I'm trying to say is, when you run your franchise or story in a way that you're trying to set up stuff for the next 5, 6 movies,
Yeah.
you leave a lot of stuff unsolved. You leave a lot of open end
Okay.
in a
Interesting.
way that if I want the like full experience,
You need to watch everything.
I need to watch all 20 films.
I
Yeah.
don't agree with that actually. I think each of them are quite neatly packaged as a single film. Besides, obviously, as I said, Infinity Stone is a whole saga. I think each of those films, it's like a TV show. It's like How I Met Your Mother. If you watch 9 seasons one sitting, you're gonna catch a lot more Easter eggs. You're gonna understand a lot more things. And
But if
you're
you
like, "This is
start
so awesome,"
in season 3,
yeah, you
then
can watch
you
season 3.
don't know what happened.
No, but each of those episodes package each of the characters nicely in him.
You
in
need
my opinion.
you need the pretext. You need all the pretext.
You don't need it. It'd be nice to have it. You don't need to know what this guy do. You can just see, okay, he's got a suit. He's okay. Obviously, Infinity War is different, right? Because everyone comes together. It'd be nice to know. As I said, remove those two. Each of those movies, Black Panther, you'll know, okay, he's a king. He runs country, and then his brother is gonna kill him. Stuff like that, right? You watch Spider-Man. It's like, okay, Spider-Man. Everybody knows Spider-Man, so they don't do introduction anymore. You know, he's high school. He's got some problems with his school. He's
If you watch
struggling.
Homecoming without any knowledge of who Iron Man is, what
You don't need
Avengers
to.
are,
You don't need to.
it will be very confusing.
Not that much. They know this guy's his mentor. This guy's important. He's got iron suit. He's rich. And then they're getting robbed. There's a plane. There's some stuff. And then people steal stuff. It's not a big deal if you don't know who the Avengers are. You just know.
No,
I think
no.
it's not important. You just know that, okay, there's some rich people that are getting robbed or something, right? There's some high technologies getting robbed. And he prevented it. They don't need to know that much.
I would highly disagree.
Why?
What I think, okay,
What does it add to the film? I mean, obviously the experiences add to know that, okay, the Avengers, oh, they're so cool, they're so nice. People know. If they don't know it, they'll be like, well,
the
the
whole
Avengers.
Spider-Man movie, like 90% of it was about Peter's relationship with Iron Man, whether he can take the mantle of being a superhero.
Yeah, that's an internal struggle.
all the pretext of what happened during not Endgame, during Avengers
Civil War.
all the stuff that all the reference they dropped, the first bank robbery, everyone is wearing Avengers mask. There's no way someone can enjoy a Spider-Man a Homecoming. Like I'll say 100%. No way there's 100% enjoyment. It will be like a 70 at best.
Fine,
without
but-
all the context.
Fine. But
And I'm
in that
saying-
case, I don't think the 100% is necessary. I think if you get to 70%, that's already the hero's journey that you have. It's neatly packaged. If you watch all those previous films, fine, you get 100%. But 70% is already quite good, and that's my point. It's enough to have that hero's journey. It's enough for you to enjoy. Okay, internal struggle. Okay, he wants to be better, but he can't. Okay, he screwed up, and that guy's mad. It doesn't. You don't super need to know that he's Iron Man. He
Okay,
had struggled
you're
with his wife,
fixating a
whatever,
lot
right?
on the hero's journey stuff, but
Yeah,
then
I am.
not everyone watch a movie for the hero journey, right?
But
It's the whole
every
enjoyment.
good superhero movie should present that front and center and should let you immerse in the movie, relate to a superhero, and then maybe relate to the villain, and then see, okay, there's a battle between good and evil. That's it. And that's the whole front and center movie. That should be what every superhero movie, and that's what I enjoy. Largely, everybody enjoys largely that good and evil fight, and then good prevails. And if you do that correctly, you get Marvel movies. If you have a little bit more Easter egg, you have a little bit more lore. Of course, you're gonna be like, "What? Who, Iron Man? Doctor Strange?" But it's only a passing moment. It's only a passing dialogue. I don't think it's a fun and center thing.
Okay, Lim.
Yeah, sorry, you've been completely
All right, tone
quiet.
it down, McGregor. All right, I'll speak a little bit for Mayweather. I think actually I agree with the 70% point. You do have a discounted experience if you're not very immersed in the original lore, the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think that's enough. If you think about the what's a good comparable? Think
Star
about
Wars movie.
Star Wars movies.
Literally, number 5 was like right after 4, or 6 is right after
If you
5.
split
right?
up the originals, right? Episode 4, 5, and 6.
Mm-hmm.
If I go into and watch The Empire Strikes Back, I would have no context whatsoever. Don't know what's a Jedi. Don't know how this Benny Kenobi
Why
died.
the hell does he
everything.
suddenly move the thing at the ice
Yeah.
ice
Yeah.
cave, right?
And so I think if you look at Star Wars, you can't really see it as kind of a like you can't really see Empire Strikes Back as a standalone movie.
Yeah.
You'll basically need the context. That kind of discount. I would say that's
That's
you
a
would
higher
get
discount.
a 40%.
Yeah.
at
I'm
best
gonna
of experience.
destroy this argument.
Let's do it.
Go
Let's
for
hear
it.
it. Let's
Go
hear it.
for it. Let's see.
Star Wars, when you talk about 4, 5, 6, it's literally sequels,
Yeah.
Okay.
right?
Okay, I see what you
I'm
mean.
watching Star Wars, and there's a difference between Easter egg and the entire plot hugely relies on previous knowledge of a movie, of other
Fine.
movies. I shouldn't have to. Okay, even though I already said it,
Fine.
even though I watch all the Marvel movies except for one.
Pick a movie in Marvel, and then we can dig into it. So, Homecoming, right? What is in Homecoming plot that heavily relies on you knowing Civil War
Or Iron
or
Man.
any Iron Man?
Iron Man. Who
Who cares? That guy has an iron suit. It's a superhero movie. People have superpowers. You don't need to know why he has.
But by the way, let
'Cause-
me try to get this point in right. You don't have to see the previous movies to know what Iron Man is.
Yeah.
You can just go on Google and I'm sure if
I
you're on
shouldn't have to
Facebook,
do
you
any
should know.
homework before
Doesn't-
watching a movie.
but you
You
don't
don't
need
have
to.
to.
You don't have to. People,
I mean, you're automatically exposed to Iron
yeah,
Man.
you
Most
all you
people know
see his
who's
suits,
Iron Man.
and you see his suit, and you see his powers, and be like, okay, he's rich. He's got cars. He's got Iron Man suits. What other context you need?
Okay, compare this with Iron Man 1.
Fine. You like
Okay. Okay.
or Thor
In
or
a
like-
way that or Thor. Okay.
Yeah.
All let's name all the major character that matters
Captain America.
to the plot of Thor.
Yeah.
We have Thor. We have Jane. We have the Loki. We have the old man. The whatever crazy scientist guy
I
that
know,
Jane
Thor.
works with. We get all and Odin. Okay. We get all the information we need. That's the basic
No,
setup
yeah,
to a
yeah,
story.
Yep.
If a character has a role that matters to the story, I should know at least something about it, or else, well, I don't know why I'm watching this guy showing up on the screen. Right? We all agree on that.
Yep.
So in Thor, right, I learned about Thor, I learned about Jane, learned about Loki, Odin, Asgard, all that stuff. Whether or not that is a good film is another subject, but then I have all the info I need.
Okay. I
It's
understand your point.
neatly packaged within the moment I walked in the
Yeah.
walked in the cinema, and the moment I left the cinema.
Now, I would argue this from a more commercial standpoint. Think about your customer segment, right? I would say majority of the people who watch Homecoming have some sort of knowledge about the Marvel
Yeah.
universe. And if you're wasting 20 minutes to reintroduce certain characters, to reset up the entire context, that would actually impair the experience for those people who actually knew the stuff. Oh, I know this. Why are you repeating everything? That would actually impair the experience for those who have seen it already. And I would argue those are the majority of the consumers out there.
And additionally, coming from a huge Marvel fan, I know the film well, Homecoming, and I know Civil War well. Civil War introduces Spider-Man very briefly, as in the scenes that Tony Stark and
He
Spider-Man-
recruited him, and then he joined the fight.
Maybe
And
and
10
also,
that's it.
remember
maybe 10, 15
the first 10 minutes was I think it was filmed. Well, it's made like it's filmed from Peter's phone. It's kind of like a recap of Civil War. He had that
Oh,
selfie.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going to face Captain America
Yeah, yeah,
now, and it's from his angle. That kind of
Exactly.
summed up the Civil War
Yeah.
bits already.
Yeah. Additionally, like, it's not that important because the whole relationship development between Peter and Tony Stark is on screen. It's in that movie. Like, they developed that relationship, that father and son, that hug thing was all in that movie. Or was
I
it in
would-
Civil War? I'm pretty sure it was in that movie.
I actually would agree with you if we're talking about Spider-Man: Far From Home, because that movie is all about
Fine, but that's a
Spi-
sequel.
That's,
No,
a sequel. Yeah, that is a
Fine.
sequel. And that's a story about whether Spider-Man could take on the mantra of Iron Man and become the next Tony Stark.
Yes.
Now, you do need a lot more context
Huge. Yeah.
for that film. But I think for Homecoming, as a standalone movie, you're right. I think we all agree on it's we're gonna
Discounted.
take
You
it's
have a discounted.
But I think a 30% discount is not bad. It's not bad at all.
No.
I guess you were talking about the whole like audience that would watch Homecoming already have like previous knowledge of Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I would say, well, Disney did change the game by doing that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like including
Yeah.
the whole Easter egg stuff. You
Basically,
have
they're
to-
making movies a lot like how they make TV shows these
Yeah,
days.
it's not just Disney too. You know, I think Fast and Furious as well. The one I watched last night, I forgot half of the thing happened in Fast 8 or Fast 6 or Fast 7, and so I was like, "What? Who's that guy?" And I was like, "Oh, he did that? Ah!" And then I had a discounted experience, but I still think it was all right. Like I understand what your point is because it's quite important to know these characters, but if done well, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as someone would be like, oh, I hate this movie now. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Disney changed the whole game. And, well, whether I like it or not, that's a different story. But
Fair enough.
that is, well,
They are in a position to not reintroduce the characters and concept every single
Yeah,
time
and
because
that's-
it's so famous.
And that is such advantage.
It's a
they
huge
changed
advantage.
everything when they, basically the whole Infinity Saga, 20 movies, is one movie in
Yeah.
a way.
Yeah.
In the same way that 4, 5, 6, 1 to the whole Star Wars like Skywalker saga is about Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but only well, George Lucas did it in 6th film, and well, Marvel did it in 12, 20.
20.
In a way that I don't really like it. I don't think it's a healthy way to do things. Cause
Fair enough.
yeah, because you never wrapped up your movie. You're just leaving things in open, forcing people to watch it. It's not unprecedented. Disney did it
Yeah.
before with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you remember, the second episode ends in a huge cliffhanger. Jack Sparrow got eaten by the Kraken. Nothing was solved, and they had to bring back Barbossa to solve everything. They literally ended there. In the same way that Hunger Games
Yeah.
never end their movie. They always end in a cliffhanger. And I think it's a cheap way to do it.
Fair enough.
Oh, well, I mean,
I'm a normie.
the Matrix didn't have like a very, very proper ending, you could argue.
No,
They're making
first
Matrix
one was
four.
pretty
Matrix, the first Matrix could have been film. If the 2 sequels never happened, it
Yeah.
would have been
First
a good
one
film.
was fine.
Yeah.
First one.
Neo fly away,
That's it.
became Superman. We never knew what happened, but then we know that he is on his way to be the system.
Yeah.
It's very
Would you say that's a cliffhanger? What's the difference between cliffhanger and an open-ended ending?
Oh, literally open-ended ending is like, where's the ending? Like exactly like Infinity War, where it's like, that's not it. That can't be the end.
no.
that's fair.
Open-ended is Inception. There are
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry. Yeah,
it leaves,
open-ended.
it
Yeah,
leaves
open-ended.
room for you to imagine what the 20 minutes would be like after the movie
Good point, good
roll
point.
credits.
You're right.
But then not knowing that 20 minutes wouldn't ruin your experience.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
yeah, it's a good like it leaves room for you to imagine. Yeah.
But cliffhanger is literally incomplete, right?
Yeah.
Cliffhanger and incomplete.
yeah.
Okay. Because I would argue the third Matrix movie didn't really have a very, very clear ending to it. Neo, the
Died.
common belief is that Neo died. He was integrated with the system. But then Matrix 4 is coming out, by the way.
What?
Yeah, they're making a new Matrix movie
Yeah.
with the same cast,
Keanu Reeves?
without Morpheus.
Without Morpheus?
Without Morpheus.
Wait.
With a new
Without Trinity, right? Or
with
without,
Trinity.
Oh, with Trinity.
Damn, I forgot her name.
Yeah. Forgot her name too.
What's the lady who played Trinity?
Yeah, I forgot.
But the original actress was there. Keanu Reeves, obviously, recasting as
John
Neo,
Wick.
as John Wick. Yeah, I think it's a bit of a shame. I think they should not have started Matrix 4 production.
definitely not.
They should have left it there, and it was perfect like that.
Dude, yeah.
Some would even argue it was perfect with a single.
Yeah,
movie.
with the first movie
Yeah.
too. Some would argue, and even like, dude, sequels. Indiana Jones 5.
It's economic incentives in the end of the day.
The 4th one shouldn't have happened, but maybe the 5th one will be better. Who knows?
I'm complaining, but I watch all the Marvel movies.
Yeah, it's if
gonna
you
watch
think
all
about
of it, man,
that,
I'm
the
telling you.
Disney strategy here, right? It's a lot like how Facebook wants you to keep reading the articles, on and on and on.
Yeah.
Because they leave you these cliffhangers to kind of exploit human psychology. You want to know what happens next. You want to know, so you watch the next movie.
Yeah.
And
That's how they set up all the original movies too. Like with Iron Man, they had Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
And then with Thor,
and I think the what Mayweather here is trying to kind of argue is
I think it was cool when it was just Easter eggs and not like take part of the majority of your movies, or like I said, take out 30% of the fun.
fair enough. I would disagree because I think
Like,
you
okay,
are rewarded
If,
for
if you're a
your
Marvel fan,
fan.
when you hear like Iron Man 1, like there's Phil Coulson, right? Agent Phil
Yeah.
Coulson.
Yeah.
He mentioned, oh, we're shields now. Like that would get Marvel fans like really excited. Me too. Like I was like, oh man, Shield. Oh my God, they're bringing in Avengers. But then not knowing that wouldn't ruin my experience. Okay, I guess this guy is starting a thing called Shield.
yeah.
Yeah, the only problem I have is that, well, they made it this way, that I have to, for example, if I have to enjoy Endgame.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that, of course, you're discounting. I think the problem is how much we're discounting. The
Okay,
argument isn't.
let's say
argument isn't how
Endgame.
much.
Let's
The
say
argument is
Endgame.
there. It's how much, right? Endgame, Infinity War, especially, because all these people suddenly appear, and why is Captain America not with Tony Stark? All these things, they're about. We're arguing how much is being discounted, where there's no disagreement whether or not it's discounted. I think 30%. You think it's more. You think it's maybe 75.
Let's say someone that never watched any Marvel
Yeah.
movies walk into Endgame.
Yeah, sucks.
How would that experience
Not just
be?
sucks. So the climax will be like, huh? It'll be confusing.
Now
And-
imagine if they went into Infinity War. Oh, so everyone's died.
Exactly.
That's
It's like, why are there wizards in New York? And then I understand. I agree with the Infinity Saga. It's
But
quite
they
different.
have built up enough a big enough
Exactly.
audience base through the previous 10 movies.
They can break
whatsoever
every
to
rule they
pull that
want.
off. To pull
Exactly.
that off.
And it's. I think you're looking at a very traditional filmmaking lens where you want a complete movie, but now it's not really about the filmmaking or the techniques. It's all about the experience.
Okay.
It's all about the expectation.
No, it's all
from
about
the
the
audience.
cliffhangers, exploiting your psychology.
I thought
Now,
you'd say
now
it's
I
all
will
about the
talk
revenue.
about something that did things in well, let's talk about Mandalorian.
Fine.
Yeah.
Mandalorian set in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
It's still happening. Like, okay, what is this set in between 6 and 7, right?
Between 6 and 7, correct.
Yeah, Lucas. Yeah. I didn't need to know anything about Star Wars to enjoy it. Technically, well, it's not even technically. I
But there's a discount if you don't.
There's a discount.
I
You don't know
definitely
what's
think
Baby
there's a
Yoda.
discount. Yeah.
You
Who
don't
the
know
hell
Yoda.
is Baby Yoda?
Yeah.
Big discount. And also
it's okay. It's been quite some time since I revisit the prequel sequel, and I'll say, prequel and original trilogy. It's been quite some time between me watching Mandalorian and me watching those films. So, okay, I know. Obviously, I know what happened in those movies,
Yep.
but then I don't remember it by heart. But watching Mandalorian, well, Baby Yoda is a cute green thing. I don't need
Yeah.
to know so much about that.
but
Yeah,
it's
it doesn't add to the plot. It doesn't add to the
hugely
plot.
discounted.
Even if you are a Star Wars fan, you don't know what a Baby Yoda is.
You know that's Baby Yoda. If you weren't a Star
No,
Wars fan,
I
you'd
think
be like,
I think
that's
what
a baby.
Justin is talking about here, Baby Yoda, it's kind of a gimmick where it doesn't add to the plot. You can just think of this as a cute baby. That's it. You don't need to know
Disagree.
its association
Hugely
with Yoda.
disagree.
Unless later on they reveal some sort of relationship between Grogu, which is
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yoda's name,
Grogu and Yoda.
and
Yeah.
Yoda.
So hugely disagree. First of all, if you're a Star Wars fan, you know that's Baby Yoda. Like there's never been that species on Star Wars, so you know that's linked to either a family of Yoda or same race of Yoda. Fine, but you know this kid is gonna be a Jedi. This kid has an unbelievable count of midichlorians.
No,
So-
I would argue this is the equivalent of mentioning Shield in Iron Man 1. If you know that, it's cool. If you don't know that, it won't change
because
anything.
no. Because if you're a Star Wars fan, you know this kid is either going to meet a Jedi or going back to the rebellion. That's his end game. You know where this is going. But if you didn't, you'd just be like, oh, cute baby. I wonder how he's gonna take care of it. But like
Star Wars
the
fan?
experience different. Experience completely different.
Well, I wouldn't know the alternative because I
Yeah.
wouldn't know what a normie would think. When it's normie, someone who doesn't know Star Wars.
Did it give you that get that feeling the moment
That
like Baby
revelation.
Yoda popped up from the egg? thing?
Yeah.
Did it? I didn't. I was like, Baby Yoda, cute as fuck. That's my reaction. I know what a Yoda is.
Another thing, not just Baby Yoda. Huge spoilers for. Have you seen season 2? Huge spoilers for season 2 when Luke shows up. When the green lightsaber. Fair enough. The green lightsaber would be like, oh, cool lightsaber. You don't
Who
know.
is Luke Skywalker? If you
Yeah,
haven't
but when
seen that
he
even.
came out on the freaking
Yeah.
screen, you saw it too, right?
saw it.
Sorry. I should ask you too. He came out on screen. Every fan would have screamed. If you weren't a fan, that's fine. It's a discounted experience. But he shows up on screen, kills all these bad guys, and he gives the baby to him. No context. Well, less context. As a non-Star Wars fan, you'd be like, what the fuck? But
Yep.
as a Star Wars fan, you'd be like, fuck yeah, you know?
I think bottom
So
line
that's-
is
yeah.
bottom line is right. Star Wars, Marvel's they're creating a whole cinematic universe. They're creating a whole lore.
Yeah.
Different characters and all that stuff. Whereas if you think about The Godfather, they're not creating a whole lore. They're just creating some movies. I
That's
wouldn't say they're too necessarily comparable. They're different genres. You could think of them as different production even.
Yeah.
And so to view a Marvel movie through the very conservative traditional filmmaking lens, I think it's fundamentally
It's a bit flawed in that
Flawed.
thinking, yeah. I think
yeah.
so. Not to say that, fundamental films are bad. Not at all, right? I love those movies. But it's the fact that now we have a new generation of how to make films and how to make money. Okay, not films, make movies, fine. How to make money. We should adopt those views to view these movies, like whether or not, this discussion whether or not the discounted version is really that bad,
Yeah.
or whether or not we should really care that much about people who don't watch our films.
Yeah.
Because clearly, Marvel and Star Wars, they don't give a fuck. They make films for people who continuously make films. Of course, I would argue 70% of the movie has to be the hero's journey, has to be standalone. But the rest, the 30%, is fan service for
Fan
huge
service.
fans. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and bottom line is again, the cinematic universe, Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's kind of a hybrid between TV shows, like Suits,
Yeah.
and movies.
Yeah.
I would argue it's even closer to the TV series because
Agreed.
it leaves all the cliffhangers at the end and expects you to know what's happened previously, right? And all right. There's no winner in this conversation.
No,
in this
there isn't.
debate.
No, I don't think there's a winner. It's just
Okay,
different opinion.
I'll
Really
just
is.
I'll just add one more argument. I think there's the way to do it right.
Okay.
It's not like the entire MCU is trash. There are a lot of like good stuff.
Okay, let's put it this way. I agree with you. So let's
Ant-Man
say,
was great.
Yeah.
Guardian of Galaxy was great, and it had none of those problems I mentioned.
Yeah.
But
so
then, there were certain films that,
all the
did it.
movies that you mentioned were the beginning film, with the first film that expects audience to know barely anything about the characters introduced in the film. Spider-Man: Homecoming is a huge difference. It's a big difference because Spider-Man, first of all, they presume everybody knows about Spider-Man, so they did not go into the lore. Just like Batman in the new DC, they did not go in any of that. His dad died or anything, because everybody knows Batman, everyone knows Spider-Man, so they didn't go into that. So I agree with you. But if you think about how those movies that you mentioned, Iron Man, Thor, Guardians of the Galaxies, if they kept doing that, it's going to be very boring. Every movie you just get a small snippet. Every movie you get a small snippet. They don't interlink, and I think that's the balance that we have to strike. If Iron Man is in Spider-Man, and then Doctor Strange is in Thor, and these world interlink, you're gonna get this kind of experience. But the experience for true fans who know the films, who've seen previous films, is gonna outweigh that discount. And that's why I think they need to progress. They need to expand and just adding that little Thor hammer at the end. They have to add actual Thor in the movie. Add so much more to the fans and doesn't deduct that much for the non-fans. I mean, that's just my opinion.
I agree with you. Well, because I watch all of them, and I do enjoy fan service stuff too.
But doing the right way too many times will be too boring. Like, imagine if
I just
all the
imagine
movies-
what it would be like for I always imagine what it would be like for
Yeah.
casual movie going audience or people that don't buy into the whole I have to watch 20 films.
For example,
to
my
enjoy it.
girlfriend doesn't watch any of the Marvel movies. She's only seen a couple. And I think we were watching Winter Soldier and Falcon with her.
And it
She's
would
like,
be a very different experience.
extremely different. She's like, what? Why is this guy? And then when they saw, I don't know if you've seen the.
I haven't.
Okay, so a little bit of spoilers, small one, just very small one. You'll see it. It's all in the memes. Zemo, you know who Zemo is?
The fake Captain America.
No, Zemo
There's
is
the guy that started
Baron Zemo.
Civil War.
Civil War.
Dude.
The
Oh,
guy
yeah,
who
yeah,
started
okay.
Civil War with
Yeah.
the books.
Yep.
He's in that movie.
Okay.
And when that guy came out, and then because of his role in Civil War, because he killed Black
Yep.
Panther's dad.
Yep.
They're like all the Black Panther women, I don't know called like the
The soldiers.
soldiers, the bald women, the freaking strong
Yep.
dudes, girls, came up and started chasing him and started fighting him, and then my girlfriend was like, "Why are they here? What they're doing?" So I understand your point.
It's a very
And
racist comment.
Yeah, it's very
Why are
very
they here?
reasonable. Why are these
That's a
black
very
women,
racist comment.
fighting this white dude? Yeah, and so I understand your point. I actually do get it now in that sense. But hell nah, keep doing these fan service, man. I love it.
All right, I feel like Justin's got a lot in mind.
Yeah.
And
I
you
think-
probably
I
got a
think
lot
we've-
in mind as
We've
well.
run dry in the well for this conversation.
Yep. But to leave you with one final note, quoting from the very, very last last monologue in American Psycho, my pain is constant and sharp. There's no catharsis. Anyway, let's leave it at that.
Yeah.